Check, check, 1, 2. What's happening? How's it going, guys? Welcome, welcome. Time for another installment. Time for another installment. What'd you do in the GWAR, Daddy? Tonight, till I get better organized at this. I'm just running through long form videos and using those as a basis to talk about different eras and projects and times. Hey, Sleazy, Aurora. How's it going, Aurora? First time Sleazy without costume, quite a jump scare, says Court. Rupert Safkin. Yo. Robo Puffed, good to see ya. Robo Puff's in Kick and Twitch at the same time. Guy really gets around. Quantum entanglement. He's two places at once, ladies and gentlemen. He's Schrodinger's cat. He's both alive and dead at the same time. Isn't that amazing? So, what to say about this era? Or should I just jump into it? I'll be honest, I don't feel like being that complex. I'm kind of hungover. And full of turkey leftovers, too. I had the same thing we had last night. Stargate. And yeah, I don't know if I want to do 2.5 hours. I always say that, and I end up doing it anyways. So it's I shouldn't even really talk about it. Because you're getting 1 hour. As soon as this video's over, I'm out. I don't even know how long this is. I haven't seen Rendezvous with Ragnarok for a long time. And to be honest, this was at a point where I was losing interest in touring. I didn't feel like touring really that much anymore. And I will say, though, that making the Surf of Sin video was the most fun I ever had in GWAR. It was like the absolute kind of like high water mark, really, of GWAR for me. Me and Hunter Jackson directed that together. He did the exteriors. And I did the exterior shots. In other words, all the kaiju stuff. The pyro, the miniatures, the city scenes, the exterior stuff with the fighting, and he did all the interior stuff, the interior of the spaceship, all the fighting in there, things like that. And I ended up editing it. That was the only real conflict we had about Rendezvous with Ragnarok. Excuse me, Surf of Sin, not Rendezvous Ragnarok. Rendezvous Ragnarok. Hunter Jackson directed this, more or less. Which, it's not to put him down, but it was more or less, it was a not too complex a project, because he simply took live video from shows and edited them to songs, like album versions, which kind of, I don't know if that worked. Tell you the truth, when you hear the album version of a song cut in with a live crowd behind it and live stage version of it, like, yeah, I don't know. But he directed supposedly this. We co-directed Surf of Sin, which is the music video from Ragnarok, the GWAR Ragnarok album. I enjoyed Ragnarok. I enjoyed all what we did is contributing to it as well. I enjoyed doing graphic illustrations for the album lyrics, and like I said, making the Surf of Sin video, that was the most fun we ever had. And to me, that was the way a music video needed to be, or should have been all along. And for some reason, we never quite got that right. We spent about, I think, 14, 15 grand on that. So it was this one video. We spent 15 grand and we picked a terrible song. I'm sorry. I just don't think Surf of Sin is, well, it should not be your music video song. That's probably why Metal Blade just kept going, oh, rolling their eyes every time. Every fucking time, you know, we would do something for us. I mean, they gave us the freedom. They didn't tell us, oh, we don't want you doing that Surf of Sin song. You know, they let us do that, but, you know, it was just at the last second. And by the way, in case you don't know, the End of the World Part 2, or I forgot what title of that song. End of the World, whatever part, blah, blah, blah song. That was, for the longest time, that was the Surf Sin, that was Cardinal Sin's theme song. We'd been doing that song since like 89, 90, whenever Cardinal Sin first really showed up. That was his music. Which I think was kind of an Iron Maiden rip at the time. You know, we had to start somewhere. We always did that too. We'd say, oh yes, Love Surgery, with the Slayer rip in the middle, right? It was always something like that, you know. A lot of songs had, whenever they reminded us of something, we just straight up would call it what it was. But yeah, if that song had been done really well, it certainly would have been a lot better. But what was I talking about was, as far as the conflict between me and Hunter on that video. The only conflict we had was when I edited it. I wanted to have a pre-roll, you know, or a pre-song bit of action, or, you know, like lots of music videos had at the time and continued to have, and a little bit follow-up, or, you know, action afterwards, after the song ended. And because we had so much great stuff, you know, for the video, so much great stuff, it was such a shame to just smash it into 4 minutes and 10 seconds or whatever it was. It was just, you know, it's just like it was a shame. It's like, come on, Hunter, what, if I could just have a little bit more on the front end, 10 seconds, then I wouldn't have to rush this, you know. So, you know, it was all these little bits and scenes. It felt like they were just such a rush in the edit, you know, that it was just a shame. That's what the way I felt. I felt like it was a shame that video didn't have a little bit of room to breathe on both ends, because there was lots of good stuff that hit the floor as a result. User not found, thank you very much. Appreciate it. EP911, donate to help find Zog. Yes, you must all donate. You must all donate, or this will cease. I'm holding this hostage. I know, everybody does that. There we go. 11 Shovel 11 has heard the cry. The cry from the wilderness. Please don't take this from us. Anyhow, so to be clear, this tour, for the most part, new subscriber. Thank you, Dark Bastard. Much appreciated. This tour and most of this footage was shot in '95. Even the Surf of Sin video was shot in '95. But this project, this video, came out in '97. Full 2 years later. Once again, not great timing. Or just, you know, we always were that way. We always had problems getting our timing down, right? Shit was too late, too early. Lord HP Lovecraft, much appreciated. Thank you. Yeah. And by the way, I would say that this was more along the lines of what the album should have looked like. You're aware of way Ragnarok looks, right? I got to tell this story before I jump into the video, because this, you know, this is the dark side of working with Dave Brocky. Not that dark, but you know, it's just part of the conflict that often was had. GWAR, Rag. There we go, Ragnarok. I'm sure this is not one of your favorite. Oops, the wrong one. So I'm sure it's not one of your favorite album covers by any means, right? Look at this. Are they still selling? What is this crap? I guess we own this. Metal Blade Records? No, Metal Blade owns it. We own a few albums. We were smart. We had a high-powered lawyer early on when we didn't deserve one, really, and he finagled some good deals. But one of them was ownership of the album. Well, some of the albums reverted back to us, at least early ones. But let's see if I can get this album cover. Look at that shit. Look at. Oh my God. You can blow it up now. Look at this shit. What the hell is that? Remember, this is on a 4x4 piece of fucking, you know, cardboard in your local record store. Anyhow, early on, we were talking about the album cover, and I tried to work with Dave on the graphic design for the album cover. And I started to more or less come up with something that was a little more similar to a little more similar to what the DVD box is, or shall we call it the VHS box, right? All right, this is more along the lines of what I started to come up with. I had the buildings nearby. There was a poster that was made that got it closest to being right. But anyways, there were buildings skyline behind this, and they were on fire, and it was kind of like you know, GWAR characters in the foreground. I don't know, fighting or trying to flee. You know, cardinal sin. And Dave's like, no, I'm trying to create a sense of scale. I want to, you know, you're supposed to show just, you know, epic size of a crowd that, you know, numbers millions or whatever. Like look, there's an A-bomb in the back there. You see that? If you're paying attention, there's an A-bomb back there. This is, of course, the Cardinal Sin spaceship, which is also Ragnarok. That's what the whole premise is that Ragnarok is not a meteorite or a comet coming to destroy Earth. It's actually Cardinal Sin. And because he knows the GWAR is there. He must destroy GWAR. If you don't know your mythos, the master squirreled GWAR away. They're too destructive to work to be in the master's army, and were banished and squirreled away basically in a remote, out of the place planet where they couldn't be found, to be saved for later. Kind of a break glass in case of emergency. And finally, I think Cardinal Sin got wind of them, and so he knew to destroy, to defeat the master, he also had to destroy GWAR. And so he went to Earth, found him on Earth, came to Earth to destroy them. Yeah, so the making of this album cover, it was Well, this is what would happen to Dave, unfortunately. He would get on meth benders. He would get he'd get some meth, and he would go through a period where he would do it regularly, a bunch of it, you know. And so, of course, what do you got? You're dealing with sleep deprivation, and he would develop an obsessive personality. And I don't know why, but he did it when making art. He would get on meth benders when he had a graphic project. And this would be the result, as I came to name it, Flea Circus. That's what it looked like to me, you know. And yeah, there's a band there. You can see him. Can you see him? Even with it blown up. I can say, look, there's a band way back there. This is on, remember, this is on 4x4. Fucking 4x4. He photoshopped these elements and stuck them in there, man. Holy crap. You know, and the letters don't pop. The whole thing's just a goddamn mess. I'm starting to rant now, aren't I? It was frustrating at the time, let me tell you. It was definitely frustrating. Was this one of Dave's crank binges? Yeah. Maybe Sleazy giving him some of that dollar store bathtub batch. It's all Sleazy's fault. He's the one who did it. No, Sleazy tried to keep him on wholesome, good old crack. Crack buzz only lasts 15 minutes. Crank lasts for 12 hours. Yeah, he would obsess on it, man. And we'd end up with album covers like this. I'm sure Toilet Earth probably was partially a result of that, too. But, you know, there's a few other graphic arts pieces that were like that. Kind of led to the point where finally GWAR, we just decided we're going to let, you know, bring in outside artists like, say, Simon Bisley to do something for us, you know. Even a half-ass Simon Bisley is better than a full-ass, you know, Slave Pit graphic, generally speaking. So, yeah, I stopped touring after this. I don't know if that has Think You Ought to Know This. It would seem like it would, because it seems like that's kind of integral to the Cardinal Sin story of the Cardinal Sin tour, right? You have the aliens stealing the sperm and all that, the odors of sperm, whatnot. So, anyways, let's watch it. And I'll talk about it more as
Temple here.
Get ideas.
Paranormal investigator.
I remember it as if it were yesterday.
Well, you know, it started out like a normal show.
GWAR check.
It was to have been the most glorious tour of all time.
This thread is real.
They were just having a party to celebrate the end of the world.
I was,
So this was shot at
We're a little bit weirded
the
out.
Village,
You know,
which
we
was a
read
common
prophecies. We know it's,
coffee
we knew the world was
restaurant
gonna end
that
night.
we all hung out
It's a
at. I
normal
mean, we
show.
lived there, it
That's
felt
the way
like.
it started out. Any other show, you know, is
Great
Ragnarok
place
is
to
coming. The whole
hook
earth
up
is out of your history.
with friends and
it's
chicks.
common.
Definitely.
It's common. It's doomsday common. The end of the world.
As the comet
It was
Ragnarok
just
moved
part
ever
of
closer
the
The end of the world, man.
whole
It's common.
to
don't want to leave
obliterating
college
the earth.
mentality that
any other
really
show.
kind
I
of
was, well,
is
too
also
drunk
where
to
GWAR
play.
came from.
And
I don't want a real job. I don't want to leave college. I miss college. I miss art school. I want to keep it alive.
In an all too unsodomized world.
Move myself over a little bit.
In case you didn't know, we are here to celebrate the destruction of your planet.
So Chuck would have the same
Need to know.
experiences that I would while on tour, while doing these albums, right? Or solo songs. It was just like, okay, no, 2 takes, that's fine. You got it. Out. Out. We want to spend more time on our precious real music. Which flattest dark bastard? Is Pete Lee. Pete Lee. And Pete Lee's mask design was by me. And I was trying to make him, you know, because the idea kind of was he was a caveman, he killed all the dinosaurs, so I went with a, you know, just basically sort of a Cro-Magnon or more like a Neanderthal brow on him. All right. I also helped to sculpted the Sexecutioner mask. I was thankful for Chuck giving me a chance to help him with that. I didn't do it all. I just sharpened up some areas and changed the basic, some of the brow, cheek line, and things like that. But I was drawing influence from, let's say, Dr. Doom. You know, I gave him a bit of a sort of a Dr. Doom thing. And that sort of solidified. That became the permanent cardinal sin from then on. You know, you see, cardinal sin kind of reminded me of Odorous Urungus during the '90s, because that mask was just all over the place. It was just all over the place. And of course, this song is kind of exposition on the premise of what Ragnarok is supposed to be about. So GWAR's all excited because Ragnarok's going to destroy the planet. They think that's, of course, been one of their goals: destroy humanity. And you know, so he lays it out in the lyrics, the whole ancient Viking you know, mythology surrounding Ragnarok. You whip out your baloney, you feel and mighty honey. That's a NWA rhyme if I've ever heard one. Right up there with salary and reality. Although they didn't say reality. You should have. It was funny. How's Chuck doing, by the way? He's doing good. He's doing good, Gert, as a matter of fact. He's hanging in there. He's up there in New York, and he's gotten into some other work, which is he's really enjoying, which is more artistically based than what he was somewhat doing before. Before he was doing a lot of, was doing a lot of work with Union set and special effects. So stuff like, you know, I think it was things like, you know, set up a rain bar, you know, for a shoot, you know, or something like that. Which is great work, and you can get paid real well, and you got all these benefits involved, and it's easy. Just sit on your ass the rest of the time, turn the thing on, rain, no rain, rain, no rain, you know. Not to denigrate what he's doing, I'm just explaining kind of like how union work can be. Oh, look, we are going to have something, we are going to see, I think you ought to know this. Cool.
Weird gray guys. They were short, you know.
Stupid little gray aliens. Gray alien sperm smugglers.
You want to take
Sperm
my
smugglers.
sperm, use it to make some kind of hybrid alien child in order to save your species from total...
So me and Chuck, during the 90s, we had just gotten online
Saw some aliens
there
on
at the
stage
slave
with
pit,
a big
and
Sort of
we were just absolutely going apeshit over gray alien conspiracies, UFO conspiracies. And so I'd started my company, Hyperreal Productions, in 1995. And I started making gray alien
Started sucking
nodders and gray alien masks. That was my first sort of, I guess you'd call it, you know, merchandising idea. Hey, nobody's got a copyright on gray aliens. I'll do
A
that.
sperm sample from odorous Urangus.
Nobody copyright on gray aliens, but everybody it has universal recognizability. Perfect. Yeah. I'll do that.
I'm a fireman.
But anyways, so naturally me and Chuck had to inject a whole bunch of this conspiracy theory stuff that we would all freaked out about, into the show. And I'd already made the masks, so that was easy. You know, that's nice. GWAR loves that. When you've got something that's already made, they can just incorporate instead of having to, instead of having to make it. We like that better than actually coming up with a lot of original ideas. It's like, let's just find something we've already got and just justify it so we can put it on stage. But I thought it incorporated well into the show just because, it was just an excuse. Excuse to have odorous spew all over the audience, But we incorporated that into Slymaster Hyman getting pregnant, the hybrid alien baby, odorous gray alien hybrid that shows up later in the show, They seem like the anal probing a bit much. No anal probing. Just kind of fleshlighting. They were fleshlighting odorous. That's what they did. I think this is what, Sonder Commando? I really like this song. It's one of the lesser played songs. I love the album cover because I couldn't figure out what I was looking at exactly. This Gert. Dark Bastards is dubious album cover. Great album though. It was, to me, that album is a transitional album from what GWAR was previously, and then it went into this period where, as I pulled out, it got really, the music started getting really self-indulgent and sort of silly. You had We Kill Everything and Carnival Chaos shortly after this. I don't know what order those were in. Was it Carnival Chaos and then We Kill Everything after this? I thought this album had some bangers on it, and overall was still okay. It wasn't too silly. But the next two albums got really like that, and I remember I was sitting at the table, upstairs, our circular table, kind of like a meeting table. And Casey was there, and a couple other, I think, musicians. And I said the music had gotten self-indulgent. And I said, you guys need to be more spooky, less goofy. That was my mantra. After about 97, I'm like, you need more spooky, less goofy. And it took him a while. I remember Casey was just, he was not going to hear that. Self-indulgent. I don't even think he understood what I meant by that. But what I meant by it was, GWAR was becoming just too divergent in its ideas about artistic and musical ideas. It was just all over the place. It's like Dave was starting to become more of like, is this really GWAR, or is this kind of DBX with costumes. You know what I mean? Like, if you've ever seen DBX, have you ever seen Dave Solo? No. He loves being silly. And I love his silliness. I do. But at the same time, you know, it's a team effort. And we're trying to do something that's metal, you know, for the most part. If not, if you want to call it grunge metal, fine, but, you know, trying to do something that's metal. Have you read Dave's book? Never. GWAR, that one? I read some of it. It's almost unreadable. I'll be honest. GWAR is terrible. I like the premise okay, you know, but, GWAR. I remember talking to Chris Bopst, the original ballsack from the early 80s, the mid 80s era GWAR, and he was just like, called it unreadable. Yeah, but you know, Dave loves war. He loves to research and read all about war. He made it all the way to Stalingrad. So he took a vacation. He took a trip to Russia. It wasn't what's left of the Soviet Union. Yeah, it was Russia. It wasn't Soviet Union anymore. And yeah, visited Stalingrad. He was just fascinated by World War II, but he was especially obsessed with that one battle, Stalingrad. And you know, it worked its way into all kinds of lyrics and you know, storylines of his. He did comics about Wargul. Of course, Stalin's Organs. You know that song. Wargul is pretty epic. You listen to the lyrics, you know. I have to say, to me, is what's kind of missing from GWAR is that the person writing the lyrics is not really into those things that are the origins of GWAR, you know, or the basically the driving shall we say, the basis. How can I put it? It's like Dave was into Tolkien. Dave was into Elric. Dave is into all these things that he was incorporating into the lyrics and the stories. And we were too. You know, me, Chuck, Hunter, right? We were drawing our influences from, you know, from sci-fi and fantasy as well. And we knew our shit. You know what I mean? We knew our shit. Unfortunately, I don't feel like people writing lyrics right now know their shit as far as those kinds of, shall we say, influential elements, you know, that GWAR is supposed to be about. Right? It's just, it's not there, and I think it kind of shows. Asimov? Chuck was big into Asimov. Chuck loved Asimov and Heinlein. Yeah. I was drawing my influences from sci-fi comics mainly and sci-fi film. So I'm drawing my influences from everything from heavy metal, Corbin, Kirby, paranormal, big time. She's being inseminated, by the way. That's how she got inseminated right there. Today's lyrics, yeah, love you, baby. Is Dave the who died recently? Aurora Sonic? Dave Rocky? Yeah. Was Dave a socialist, is Kurt? A bit. When he was on one of his crank binges, this is a funny story.
Smells like sperm up
But
here.
I think I might have told this
Smells
before.
like my sperm.
But
I love that smell.
when we were on tour with the Skate Nigs,
Oh my God, not that.
and I think that was one of the last
Hey,
tours
looks like
I
you
was
got
on
spermed on.
in the middle 90s. I was later on, I did some in the aughts, but in the late 90s, I did one. And
When was the last time you were tested?
we were the Skate Nigs, and Dave was reading some fucked up shit,
I got it.
and he got into a crank. He got a methamphetamine bender going while on tour, which is one of the more common places that it happens.
Slime Minster's
Because, you know,
fire out
you don't
with
get the sleep you need, and then you need to do a little bump to maintain
started spraying
while you do
everywhere.
press and setup and other things like that, you know. And then
A lot of
you're on,
liquids were
you know
sprayed
how
on
meth
my
is,
guitar
man.
neck
It's
and my
like,
pedals.
you can't just do a bump and have it last an hour or
Cum
two
cannon thing
with
they
you.
had.
And so you've just fucked up your next night's sleep. Anyhow, he's on one of his benders, and he started to fashion himself as a, as he put it, sort of like a weird cross between Adolf Hitler
Then it got weird.
and Mahatma Gandhi. He was going to lead this cultural, political revolution in America. He was going to be the leader of it.
Baby, you're so fat.
And
it's almost like you're
you know, basically take down the existing system is what he fantasied or envisioned himself doing. And we were at some Texas hotel motel, and we were going to check into our rooms, and I was on the elevator with the lead singer of Skate Nigs. I can't remember his name. And Dave was in the process of pitching him on this great endeavor, and he wanted this guy, you know, he wanted him to join him, you know, and I could tell the guy was just like, yeah, okay, yeah, sure, Dave, yeah, that sounds really good. All right, my hotels, this is my floor, yeah, okay, I gotta go. And then Dave could tell I had my cynicism scoff mode, just kind of smirky over there to the side of the elevator, watching this all go down. He turned towards me, and he detected my skepticism, and he was like, you know, basically forced me up against the wall and more or less said, "You're either with me or you're against me." Which I just sort of laughed off. It's like, okay. Carnivorous brain. Carnivorous brain. I couldn't find carnivorous. Carnivorous brain. Welcome. Thank you for subscribing. Much appreciated. Sounds like early Russell Brand, says Jaden Cage. Could have been. Hey, Sleazy, I'm watching VHS 85, and I think I caught GWAR in that movie for a few seconds at the 119 mark. Interesting. VHS 85? Is that Weird Al Yankovic's movie? Is there a little bit of GWAR in there? I didn't realize. GWAR always reminded me of S. Clay Wilson. You know, thank you for mentioning that, Timber Korea. To me, Dave's art style was very much S. Clay Wilson. Like, he was S. Clay Wilson. I was like a cross between, I don't know, Mort Drucker of Mad Magazine. Probably. People said I had a tendency to look like that. These are my EC influences and my Mad Magazine influences. Hunter was had his own real style, but it was kind of like a cross between To me, it was kind of a cross between American Underground and anime, or excuse me, manga. Dave had that. Hunter definitely was influenced by the Japanese stuff, big time. And Chuck, of course, was custom culture. You know, Big Daddy Roth, you know, Robert Williams, stuff like that. So if you like look at GWAR, you can see all those elements in there. You know, see the aspects of all those things. You know, in there for sure. You can turn your back on a friend, never turn your back on a drug, says Salty. I gotta say, you know, being in a band, apparently people think that the best way to meet, to be friends with a rock band, is to offer them drugs. And having been in a band, I found that works. That actually works.
Ever since that day,
It's a horror film. Robert Williams' art is amazing. Yeah, he is awesome. By the way, I got to meet him and spend some time with him, along with Robert Gorman. Robert Gorman got close to him as well. And then through him, I got to hang out with Robert Williams at his house. He had the most extensive Prussian spiked helmet collection I've ever seen. And he lovingly described in detail the differences between all the different helmets. It was like, wow. Didn't know it could be get into that kind of minutia, but yeah. Yeah, he loved his spiky World War I Prussian helmets. Who drew the design of Private Parts? I guess I did. It wasn't drawn, it was just sort of made, and we just kind of kept going with it. So Danielle did the muscle suit. I designed the mask, made the mask and the head, designed that whole that part of him. And then I think Hunter did the paint job. As you notice in Alice in Wonderland, he's red, yellow, and white. It's just fucking weird. And the reason why we did that was because somebody said, "Hey, no, you can't do that against the blue screen because he's blue. The blue areas will be invisible." So apparently, the artists claimed, the editor, Dean English, I guess it is, claimed that he would be able to replace that yellow with blue later in post. Never did. Couldn't. So we're stuck with, this yellow. And some people actually interpreted that. Like, oh, well, that's because America's actually a very cowardly country. We weren't thinking of that. We just wanted to key correctly while it was on a blue screen. Remember the rooftop battle in Alice in Wonderland with him? This is your classic. Get two tries at it and they throw you out of the studio. I'll never stop talking about that. I was sitting there and watching. I was looking at some old interview from years and years ago, and reading, it was a pretty extensive interview about all the eras. And I brought that up again. Like, God damn, leave it alone. Leave it alone, sleazy. I remember me and Matt riding our bikes to and from, whatever the song. What the hell's going on? Why did you cut out that chorus?
Think you ought to know this.
Everybody rip everybody else off. Why was that cut out? Weird. I don't know. This copy was found some random weird place. You can see it's got this goofy text here at the bottom. I could have just ran a version. Ew, he slit his eyes. I'm into eye slitting, aren't I? I slit a lot of eyes. Oh, he's cutting his head open now. There must have been one that didn't explode, and he edited that in. Every once in a while that would happen. Gun didn't go off, so I had to manually separate it from his head. I remember me and Matt riding our bike together on the way to the restaurant to eat something. And then basically that phrase popped up. Everybody rips everybody else off. It seemed like that was like a lot of what, you know, a lot of the way the music biz works out, you know. And that song, I didn't even realize. People said, "Hey, you did." They thought I was basically borrowing the flow from Red Hot Chili Peppers.
Oh, was it Otis's baby? Yes, it was Otis's
Right.
baby. No, was it the alien baby?
Sly Minster says she's...
What's that song by them?
Whose baby was it? I don't know, but it came out of Sly Minster.
Screw Easy
Maybe
E.
she knows.
This was the real rapping sleazy. Sleazy needs more rapping during his live streams, says Jaden Cage. People want me to do some music. I'd be into doing some music, but I just don't know how to go about making it happen.
Let's spend more time with our baby if you let me fuck our baby.
I really don't.
We do have a difference of opinion.
I want to do
on
EDM.
childbearing. In my opinion,
Sing about big butts.
fucking the kid in the ass.
That's taken, Sleazy. You can't sing about big butts. Okay, well, I'll rephrase it. I'll rephrase it. This is the Odorous baby. Good old-fashioned, old hardcore sounding song, huh? This is from the next two albums, isn't it? This is from Carnival Chaos, We Kill Everything era song, isn't it?
You really are pathetic, and you call me a slut, then you walk around all day with bitches up your butt. Well, maybe there's hope for you, but first, get on your knees.
Lazy D should tour with Big Mike as an opener. Who's Big Mike? Carnivore Chaos says this was on Ragnarok. I find that hard to believe. Now I'm dying to know. Anybody remember the name of the song? I feel like this is definitely.
Try not to lie because lying is a sin.
What do you know of sin? I taught you about sin when the sun was dim.
People like this. There are a lot of people like this era.
What about it? There's no pussy in your tower.
I could have any woman that I want.
The fact that you raped them is nothing to flaunt.
Oh. Well, you got me there. But wait a minute. But what about song?
Remember this song? The title of it? Fire in the Loins. Gotcha.
I'm sorry. I'm really sorry I raped your baby. I'm so sorry.
I had a Mandela effect
Tell you one thing, baby.
last week when I was trying to
Tell you, I brought you
figure out what to do for the show. For some reason, I was sure Toilet Earth came before America Must Be Destroyed. I had them all mixed up. Roughneck MP 173. Sleazy, let Dawn out for a bit. Well, how about that? Yeah. It's nice. It's nice not to have to put on the makeup.
Really know how to please a real woman.
That's okay.
My upper lip is like kind of permanently stained with grease
And then,
all the time.
We have a
People
problem,
look at me weird.
motorist.
I forget.
the legions of
I
Cardinal
forget
Sin
I look
came
like
down.
that. Fire in the Loins. Okay, I'm gonna have to look up Fire in the Loins
The
now.
deacons of Dogma.
Specifically. I didn't see it in the album.
We are the advanced electronic agents of Cardinal Sin, baby!
Cardinal Sin. Ooh, wow.
Cardinal Sin will be here soon.
Came down to steal the baby away from GWAR.
Give to us.
Okay, Fire in the Loins is in the Ragnarok album. Good call. So as you fans were, they know this stuff better than I do.
Such an ugly, smelly little baby.
I gotta piss. That old man bladder. You know what? It's like a broken gas gauge. Like it's stuck on empty, and then you just tap it once and it goes straight to full. Like there's no. It feels like it just nothing. Full. Instant. Not like I don't pee either. I do. Frequent urination? That could be a problem. Be sure and see your doctor. Surf of Sin, hell yeah. Why hasn't A1 funded her buy Sleazy a catheter yet? Believe me, it doesn't have to be a catheter. It could just be kind of a piss tube. Already strapped on there. Oh, 2 liter at my feet. That'd be a good idea. Alright. I better just get it over with. Because that'll be all I talk about. If we got entertainment on screen, it'll be a good time to work.
I could get dead, but I got some sense that I don't give a fuck. So fucking back to the time, I got you alone. I got out the master, I go to the phone. I got the data, I press it down. The fuckers will cross down, the cows will come home. Way to go! Thank you, Prime Minister, for letting our child get kidnapped by sex-hungry space aliens.
No, wait. Strange one. What do you want to do with our alien space child?
You see, their whole technology is based on the absorption of the soul into their technological mechanisms. And only the pure soul of a newborn child was pure enough to power the armor of Cardinal Sin.
Cardinal Sin will be here soon. You think Cardinal Sin's a comet, baby?
That's right, we do.
They sold us out. They played us.
We were really expecting a comet.
Cardinal Sin is not a comet, huh?
But it turned out to be this robot guy.
We didn't know. It was a robot, giant robot.
And it ain't no comet.
Cardinal Sin is the most excellent robot monster, baby!
Huh?
We didn't know it was a giant robot.
Merely Cardinal Sin coming to pick a fight with the big boys.
And then it hits.
So, this costume's another collaboration. Like I said before, Cardinal Sin initially was just basically found art, modified. It was a road cone, and Mike Delaney took a road cone, he cut off the base, and he cut out the interlocking, basically zigzag tooth pattern, and some eyes for some holes, and that was initially the first one, and then Dave Muscle took that and he modified it more, made it more elaborate, kind of Baroque in a way, with the wings and whatnot on it and stuff. And Hunter changed the mythos suddenly. It was initially it was Sultan of Sin, and then he became Cardinal Sin, and that's where Hunter came up with the mythos about them powered by the innocence of children, along that line, or something like that. But anyways, I made this body. This was a pain in the ass. I made the fucking thing out of, I made a mold for this, man. This is a big mold. This is a urethane rubber mold with a FGR blanket backing. And so I made the whole, this part. I made the previous two Cardinal Sins, the other Cardinal Sins as well.
He's big.
So it got passed to me. Hunter and Matt McGuire did the arms and hands, and the legs and feet. Yeah. So that was how basically that project was broken down between us. And so what I went for is I kept trying to kind of clean up the design. But you see Cardinal Sin, you see that my influences are Lost in Space. Lost in Space, but combinations of Robbie the Robot and whatever the Lost in Space robot was called. He was just called Robot, wasn't he? Sleazy, was there ever a "it used to be about the music"? You changed, man. Fight in the band. You came in a little late, Cynical Survivor. I was telling the story where it took an artist to say this, kind of. It was funny that it was, but I felt like they were getting self-indulgent and had lost the plot musically. I said that at a table with a bunch of them, with Casey and another musician, a couple of them. I said, "You guys have gotten self-indulgent," and he was irate. He was pissed. Hear that? What happened to the Cardinal Sin? Okay, the Cardinal Sin video has that come after this? The short video, the Surf of Sin video. I'll have to run that. Can't finish out with this. That's the whole point of this. Surf of Sin. Ha ha! There's aliens back there taking orders. Anyways, yeah, I said they were, gotten self-indulgent, and they did the "We Kill Everything" in the Carnival Chaos, and I felt like I said, you guys need to get more spooky, less goofy. They didn't listen to me at the time, but these things take a while. You plant ideas; they're like seeds within the band, and then they take root. If they're a good idea, they take root, and slowly over time, they take root. But generally speaking, I can't believe that doesn't have the Surf of Sin video in it. Did it happen while I pissed? I don't think so. So yeah, they didn't like that at all, but they didn't listen for a while. And then after Pete Lee left and Corey Smoot came in, then they decided to start taking the music and making it more brutal, more metal, you know, which is always the way I've wanted it to be. I did, you know. It's like I didn't want it to be as cartoony as it would be at times, you know. Sure, on occasion, you have a secondary character come in and do a song. But my favorite songs were, you know, things like Love Surgery and King Queen and Maggots and, you know, songs like that. Those are the songs that I liked. They lost the plot for a little while, and then finally with We Kill Every, or excuse me, with their album Violence Has Arrived, they got back on track, and they stayed on track there for about 4 albums. I thought that was. Were there pieces that were missing, or am I just high as using on? I don't know. It could have been. It was a crappy. It was a crappy rip. It was a pirated rip. I don't know. So we don't worry. We'll just find out. We'll just find. Is this Rendezvous? Firing the lines wrong. We'll get Surface Sin going. YouTube. Is this the same thing? So this is the same thing. I don't even know where the opening credits are. That's crazy to me. Right? How long is this? Did it end the same way? Yeah, it just ends with Cardinal Sin dying on stage. I'm surprised that was never incorporated into the live show. Here, sorry, you're not seeing what I'm seeing. Come on. Yeah. So definitely want to show Surface Sin and talk about it, because it was an interesting experience, to say the least. Surf of Sin. Of all the GWAR videos, I wonder... this one only has 11,000. GWARization. This has 89 views. Surf of Sin, Crush, Kill, Destroy. Oh, that's interesting. Well, I'll play that just so you can hear the way the song should have been. A lot of Surf of Sins here. Wow. This one is 9,000. Yeah. Here's another one. 903 views. Funny how nobody ever enforces GWAR's copyright on YouTube. Never happens. 89 views. 9 months ago. Doesn't matter how good a video you put up. I guess it's the way it is, man. All right, I'll go with this one. It's got 11,000 views. I'm assuming it's pretty good. There's the old, good old set. Let me get out of the fucking way. I'm always in favor of recycling sets. We didn't do that enough. That's one of the few things we made for this. We made all this proppage. This was new. This is the interior. And this was on our 2010 Chamberlain blue screen. And we were supposed to have stuff back here. And once again, we made the mistake of moving the camera. You can't move a camera and it make a blue screen work for you. Another thing we learned the hard way is you can't use 16 millimeter sucks for blue screening. We used it, but it sucks. So we'd leave the blue. We just leave it. We didn't have a background. We were supposed to have a background there, and we didn't even use it. So we just left it blue. Nice model work. What's that thing doing? It looked like it just blew up, but we're supposed to believe somehow it's launched into the air. But yeah, when you shoot with 16, especially in low light, you know, like indoor lighting, you end up with this artifacting fuzz on the edge. Does not blue screen well. That's why this film, to me, looks like shit. This video looks like shit until it all goes outdoors, you know. And then once we have bright light outdoors, it looks great. Miniature version of Cardinal Sin we made for this. Whee! That's Jenna. She's Greg Ottinger's wife. So always, once again, keep it in the family. That was Hunter's girlfriend at the time. Just got pushed off of that rocket. You can see the artifact. Another thing we did was stupid is we had smoke. You have 16 millimeter and you have smoke? No, that was Hunter's girlfriend right there. The one that was doing the dance. Mike Bonner. Dave. That was my roommate at the time. Pretty sure. This is Mike Dirks, in case you didn't notice. And the hipster. That's me. Recycling those extras. That's Scott Crawl. It's me again. There's Chuck Varga. Oh, over you go. It's fun blowing up models. That's why I enjoyed this. That almost blew my face up. That effect right there. But yeah, we had one take for this particular sequence of all these buildings getting blown up where Cardinal Sin is shooting holes in them. And we did that in one take, and it worked perfectly. So happy, because it was hot as fuck outside. We had poor Matt McGuire in that costume. He was covered with rubber and fiberglass, and you know, it was one of those 90%, 100-degree days. But this is the way you do kaiju, and I found this out by watching some videos about the making a new remake of Ultraman, and I didn't understand. The breakthrough was, for us, was we use risers so that we can get down low. And we use a real sky. Look at that. Look how beautiful that sky is. By the way, this up here is, excuse me, that part right there, that is our actual building sticking up around behind the model buildings. And just like, looks like part of the skyline. It's fine. Part of the skyline works for me. Good job. Yeah. But yeah, you can shoot at any angle you want. You don't have to worry about you don't have to blue screen in a background sky behind them or anything like that. Of course, the kaiju, the Japanese, they have a huge indoor set. You know, we didn't have that kind of scale to work with, so we just got, I think it was 8x4 risers with 4-foot legs, big heavy-duty 4-foot legs, and we just you know, we bolted them all together. But Dave Muscle did a shit ton of work. We recycled some of the buildings, I think, from the Phallus in Wonderland, but we made new ones as well. And Davis Bradley did a bunch of cool work on those miniatures for that. And Matt McGuire soldiered on through the heat. And me and oh god, I forgot his name now. A friend of mine who I happen to know was a filmmaker. We had 3 cameras going for it, so it was a multi-camera shoot. That's the way you do it, you know. You get a multi-camera shoot because when you're doing stuff that's, you know, basically kind of one take only. You want to have a lot of cuts that you can make to cover up the fact that, oh, this is the part where, you can see too much of the wrong thing, or this is the part where he stopped moving, or it didn't look right, whatever. But that film was the most fun, and I hate to say it, the reason why I hate to say it, no, I don't. I'll just say it. One of the reasons why is because when we made that video, the musicians were all gone. The musicians were gone, and that was a project that was completely Dave free. Yep, Dave free. We were Dave free, and we were feeling good about Dave can be kind of oppressive, right? So with Dave out of the picture, me and Hunter actually worked well together. That was one of the best things we ever did, and it was just me and Hunter directing that together and coordinating it. And without that Dave playing us against each other and stuff like that, we were able to turn something out that was pretty fucking cool. Like I said, the music isn't great. I don't love that song, To me, I wanted something really metal, the way it was original. This is here. You've heard this song before. History of the End of the World. And this was, like I said, this was written back in this was written back in the late 80s. That doesn't sound right. Thank you, fucking YouTube. All right, here we go. So, you can see there's like giant monster coming out. And then we'd have a big fight scene. This is what this was for. This is fight choreography music. And then during the End of the World tour, sorry about the lag. During the End of the World, or during the Masters of the Universe type, I don't know what they called that tour. This became the Masters, was put to while the Master fought. I was outraged. Just felt like it was just like, this is sacrilege. This has always been Cardinal Sin's theme. What the fuck, YouTube? You're bullshit. You are such bullshit. The fuck. Ugh. The hell? Why do you do this sometimes, man? I give up. So I'm just going to put copyright issues on it. It's already got copyright issues. Let me go one more. Let me try this one. You hear that? Digga, digga. It's that gallop. It's trying to be Iron Maiden. They used to laugh about Iron Maiden lyrics, how goofy they were. But you can see how this is meant to be a fight song. All these twists and turns and dramatic changes in the music, right? Yeah. Deep. That's enough of this. Fuck that. I guess I could talk over it. No audio. Oh. Desktop. Are you shitting me? I played that goddamn Cardinal Sin song. Oh, look, desktop audio is not even playing. The fuck? All right. How did that happen? How did that happen? Why is desktop audio not giving me anything? Anyhow, typical show. Typical show. Motherfucker. I don't know what's up with YouTube. It's fucking lag, man. Oh, I got too many windows open or something? That's ridiculous. Did I just close something I shouldn't have? I think I did. Yeah, I have no idea. I have no idea. Everything's just hanging out. Anyhow, you can hear me, and that's all that's all that matters. You listen to it. You listen to it for us, boss, for our own good. You did it for us. So kind. So kind for my stupid incompetence. I have no idea where my desktop audio went. That sucked. Anyhow. So yeah, that is about it for that era. I'm like bopping around, I guess. I'll be doing live. I'll be doing streams of different movies and shows that we did. But not much less. There's not much left. I guess I've got a bunch of the hyper-real live shows I can talk about. And there's lots to talk about in those because, you know, there's a lot of behind-the-scenes fabrication and conceptualizing, you know, stories to talk about and whatever else it triggers. And I finally did one. I did a full-length tour, a real full-length tour, not a 2 weeks at a time sort of tour, like the Gwarnage, you know, the Gwarnage live show is me, you know, doing Bozo Destructo along with Hunter, doing techno, that old format, right? Thanks for following. Much appreciated. Did I, what was it? Oh, I didn't look at have my screen open. Oh, it's Jackson Boom. Jacko Boom. Oh, look. Yeah, and Jactic 69. And East Coast Buds. And Natas. These are all people that just followed me. And I just ignored them. Sad. That's sad. That's rude. That's rude. What can I say? Ep911, here's a dono so you can get some desktop sound. I should do that. That should be my ploy to get more money. It's like, you're not gonna hear shit till I get paid. It's all your fault. I can't afford good equipment. Pay me, and then maybe you'll hear something. And I don't think that's gonna work. I don't think that's gonna work at all. The Shining film, Jack Nicholson was reading Playgirl magazine for the articles. What? Audio unlocks with $20 donation. Did I play that whole Surf of Sin? No audio? God damn, man. That's embarrassing. That's embarrassing. I'm just here for the articles. I remember those early kid years. Somebody, hey man, I got some Playboys. Remember this one guy? He buried his in plastic, but still didn't stop from rotting, and these mealy worms are crawling out between the pages as we looked at some nudie pictures at age 8. Oh. Something about that musty smell and those pill bugs crawling around added to the eroticism of the experience. No, I don't have a thing for pill bugs, but still, it was kind of funny. Robo Sleazy. Robo Sleazy was, yeah, Robo Sleazy. That was me not wanting to tour. What are they going to do? They put in Robo Sleazy. Robo Sleazy. The interesting thing about that was that album had the mind control helmets. That was the premise, right? You had what? It had Turbo, Robo GWAR, right? And Robo had the mind control helmets they put on the slaves. Well, this band, while on tour in California, those Robo Sleazy helmets got stolen. And then one time while we were on tour, we happened to be with this guy, and he pulled out an album, and lo and behold, it was some basically totally forgettable, unknown punk rock band. And they were wearing those helmets in the centerfold of the album. There they are, wearing our shit that they had stolen. I was like, oh, how dare you? Bad enough you stole it, and then you fucking are so cocksure yourself, you just wear that shit on an album. Wasn't worth hunting them down. Wasn't worth hunting it down. We found a porno mag in a ditch as kids, and it was passed around quite a bit. Kind of disgusting. It sure is. Sure is. Little kids will do anything to look at some porn. Get it some cigarettes or look at some nudie pictures. They would do just about anything. Not like these kids today, point and click. Although they just changed the law in Virginia. Now they have to provide proof of age, and a lot more elaborate. Not the "I'm 18, I promise" button. Anywho, they would say, "Hey man, that's punk rock, man." This is Mandrothra. Yeah, I guess so. I don't know why. I'm just gonna generalize, but I found our fans, the kids of the West Coast, I found them a little scary. I did. And what made them seem scary was that they sort of like, they had this sort of dangerous, reckless go for it. They were kind of a dangerous combination of a dangerous, reckless go for it and stupidity combined into one type of person. You know, I'd seen elements of that in other places of the country, but this place, it kind of merged there. You know, that was one of the places I remember where they'd spit on us. I thought that was cool. They imported that from England, punk rock scene. I caught a loogie right in the fucking mouth. I think at a show in Sacramento. I did not generally enjoy playing most places in California. My favorite places was always the Rust Belt. You know, big stages, good wings, good fans, you know, with a large turnout. So, you know, your Ohio, Columbus, Cleveland, Cincinnati, you know, Detroit, those places, those were my favorite for the most part. Best combination of club, venue, and fan. California kids are weird. We almost got into a fight with one. We got into a fight. It was a scuffle. One of the members from, I think, the Jackass crew was with them. Had a crew there. They were there to market something. I forgot what happened, but they were trying to get backstage. They had their crew, and they were trying to get backstage. And sometimes Scott Crawl would get real, you know, he used to be pretty rigid about not wanting people around. And I can understand, because that's when shit disappears. My bozo mask disappeared at a show in California once again. It was brand new. I just made it. Redesigned, new mold, new cast, new everything, beautifully painted, disappeared. in one of those shows around LA. And I don't know what part of LA. I don't remember. I think I talked about this before. But GWAR, LA, California, just they're dumb. Another fight we almost had in San Francisco show with one of the bands we played with over fucking pizza. Over pizza, man. I just would have thought California kids were better. You know, it's the best state in the union. You'd think they'd be kids would be better, but they're not. No offense, California. Escape from LA in 3D. We did it. Dub 223. We ran Escape from LA. We have not done Escape from New York in 3D, but we did Escape from LA in 3D. Yeah. The last GWAR show I went to, some asshole kept spitting at the band. Fucking drunk assholes. Really? Like recently? I didn't know anybody did that anymore. The worst was we played with the Mentors. Not the Mentors, excuse me. Oh, God. I'm sorry. Ugh. Not the Mentors. We did play with the Mentors. But this isn't the story I was trying to tell. We did a short tour with, oh, God, that real dirgy metal band. The story won't work, and I can't figure out who it is. The Melvins. I wanted to call them the Smiths for some reason. It was like, the Smiths? What? I knew it was a goofy name like that. It was the Melvins. And I remember one show in particular was in Texas. And I've heard this described about other bands. I think Henry Rollins told a story about what it's like to open for some band that the audience has a lot of allegiance to. And he said, when you show up, when your band is playing, all they see is somebody who's basically wasting their time and preventing their favorite band from taking the stage, and therefore they hate you. And that's the way this Texas crowd treated the Melvins. They were not interested in the fucking Melvins in any way, shape, or form. And yeah, they wanted them gone. And they that show they played, it was just raining spit. It was raining spit on them, man. You know, that's another thing. You know, our taste, musical taste amongst members of the band was quite eclectic, and you know, we didn't want another cookie cutter monster voice metal band. You know, it was not what we wanted, and so, you know, a lot of fans of definitely some fans of the Melvins within the band, so that's why they were chosen. But as Joe Dirt would say, it's not what you like, it's what the consumer likes. And that was a situation the consumer did not like them. We liked them. They did not. ICP fans are like that? Yeah. Exactly. ICP fans can be like that. Metallica. I think that Henry Rollins story might have been about Metallica. I don't know. But you know, when you're up there, you're just blocking the way to what they're there for. It's like, no, dumb shit. If there was no opening band, then there would be nothing. You would just be waiting till 10 o'clock. You're waiting till 10 o'clock regardless. So fuck. But that's the way they are. Melvins were good in my book. Mojo Nixon, he mentions GWAR. He mentions Sleazy P. He mentions smoking weed with Sleazy P in one of his lyrics. That's my great claim to fame. I heard Buzzo likes to explode people's heads with feedback in those situations, this carnivorous brain. He could probably do it. The very last GWAR show I went to, some assholes kept, yeah. Kilroy said, none taken, sleazy. I guess you were in reference to how I was talking about Californians. You can understand why something like Jackass or, you know, crazy, outrageous stunts that would come from that state. Extreme sports would come from that state. You can understand why. It seemed like people were reckless and dumb. Scary kind of reckless and dumb. But anywho, yeah. All right, crackheads. Oh, I did it again. Dropped character. All right, GWAR fans, Bohabs. That's what I should be calling you. I should be calling you Bohabs. It's the other nickname. Thanks for showing up. Happy Thanksgiving. And I will see you tomorrow night at the usual time for the regular Rumble rant, Rumble live from the bunker sleazy show. And I'll keep doing these every Friday night. Hopefully you guys will keep showing up. I'll try to get better. I'll try to get more elaborate. I'll try to be better prepared, and I will try to bring guests. I say that every week. Yet to happen, but I will. Let me guess. Is VJ ENIAC, is he going tonight? No, he's not. Let's go see the Fantastic Plastics. No VJ ENIAC, it looks like. All right. Well, anyways, VJ, are you there? Thanks for showing up. And I appreciate everybody being here tonight. I appreciate all your support. And I'll see you, you know, the usual times. That's why that shit just keeps scrolling by endlessly. You know? All right. Happy Crack Giving, everybody. Sleazy P. Martin.